The corridor without return. He stands in the kitchen where the clock has no battery, where the window shows a pale rectangle of morning that might be yesterday. The decision sits in him like a lodged splinter. He does not touch it. He remembers when it entered. Earlier, no. Later, there had been a corridor with the smell of disinfectant and old flowers. Someone explained consequences, their voice flattened by authority and kindness. The words were careful, laid out as if on gauze. He nodded. He remembers the nodding more than the words. His own voice replied, steadier than he expected, saying yes when he thought something else might come out. The yes closed a door behind it. Now the kettle is cold. He fills it, empties it, and fills it again, because the sequence feels important. Time moves in small, unhelpful jumps. A hand on a form, a pen clicking, the pause before his signature, the ink darkening. The moment after, when he felt nothing at all. Then the wait, arriving late. He thinks of his father's hands on a winter evening long ago, showing him how to sharpen a knife. The father spoke about pressure, about letting the blade decide. He listened then too, keeping the cadence more than the instruction. The memory has no face now, only hands and the sound of metal. He wonders if that counts as guidance. Another jump. The car stopped at a light that never seemed to change. He rehearsed what he would say if asked to reconsider. No one asked. The silence felt like approval. He stands again in the kitchen. The chair is pulled out as if someone had just stood up, though he knows no one else has been here for years. He remembers a friend's laugh from a summer that keeps intruding, the way she said he always overthought things. He remembers replying that thinking was safer than acting. The memory does not answer back. Time skips. The room with the small desk appears, then vanishes. The paper was heavier than expected. The official explained the finality without using the word. He signed anyway, because stopping would have meant asking for more time, and explanations were where he tended to falter. Back to the present, which may not be the present. He opens a drawer, closes it. The object he needs is there. He remembers being told to keep it somewhere obvious. He remembers thinking that obviousness could be negotiated. A fragment from years earlier surfaces. His mother's voice, tired, telling him that some choices shape the rest, whether you notice or not. He dismissed it then. Now the memory has an edge. He sits. He stands. The clock without a battery insists on a time that does not move. He imagines a version of himself who did not say yes. That version is vague, a blur in a different corridor. The yes version is solid, taking up space, making demands. There is a moment perhaps before, perhaps after, when he felt relief. It embarrasses him now. Relief at having chosen, at no longer hovering. He wonders if that relief was the real decision. The thought suggests something about his priorities he would rather not list. He reaches for the drawer again. His hand hesitates, not from doubt, but from memory. The friend again, later, asking if he was sure. He replied with a list of reasons that sounded practiced. She did not argue, only looked at him. That look returns now without eyes. Time jumps forward. He is older by a few minutes or years. The room feels altered by the absence of an alternative. He understands that undoing is not among the available verbs. He opens the drawer fully. The object rests where it was placed, ordinary, unremarkable. He thinks of the corridor again, the nod, the steady voice. He thinks of the knife lesson, the pressure, letting the blade decide. His hand closes around the object, feeling its familiar weight, and as he lifts it toward the place already chosen, the pause stretches. Later earlier, he notices the ache in his wrist from holding still too long. The object is warmed against his skin. The kitchen light flickers, not from the bulb, but from a remembered afternoon when the power went out and someone laughed about candles and improvisation. The laugh arrives, hangs, then fades. He adjusts his grip. The movement pulls another memory loose. The first apartment, the thin walls, the neighbor whose radio bled through every evening. He learned then how to tune out unwanted sound, how to narrow attention until only what mattered remained. That skill felt useful. It feels implicated now. Time jumps. He is in the hallway, or remembers being there, shoes half on, thinking about whether to lock the door. He locked it. The click was decisive, satisfying. He recognizes the same sensation now, the urge to finish a movement simply to complete a sequence already begun. His thoughts do not line up. They arrive in blocks, separated by pauses, heavier than the thoughts themselves. In one block, a holiday table, an empty chair no one commented on. In another, a form with a box already checked. The moral discomfort does not announce itself. It seeps, quiet and persistent. He tells himself the decision was rational, that circumstances had narrowed the field. He remembers making that argument once, watching it fail to land, feeling irritated by the failure. He breathes. The object rises a fraction. He pauses again, not to reconsider, but to measure. Even now, he calculates distance, angle, likely outcome, as if the outcome were still probabilistic. Another jump. The corridor returns, altered. The walls are closer. The explanation replays, stripped to a tone that suggests care without attachment. He trusted that tone. Trust felt easier than skepticism. Back in the kitchen, the clock insists on its frozen hour. He thinks of the day he removed the battery, annoyed by the ticking. He liked the silence afterward. He wonders if that was practice. His hand trembles briefly. The tremor irritates him. He remembers being told that hesitation was a sign of conscience. He thought instead about efficiency. Time fractures again. He sees himself afterward, or imagines it. The room unchanged, the object no longer needed, the decision complete. The image brings a flatness, the same discomfort continuing without movement. It presses on him. He tightens his fingers. The sensation in his palm sharpens his focus. He allows himself one more memory. The friend's face again, older now, asking nothing. He feels a flicker of something like apology. The movement resumes. The pause thins. His arm begins to follow through, muscle remembering what the mind refuses to frame. And as the object crosses the last small distance, his breath catches and his body commits, and the moment breaks open as he brings it down, starting to. The sound he expects does not arrive yet. There is only the sensation of motion continuing, momentum insisting on itself. Time slips sideways. He remembers a winter morning when his hands shook from cold, not fear, and someone told him to breathe into them. He did, surprised by how quickly warmth could be faked. The kitchen tilts. Or another room intrudes. The office where the blinds were always half closed. He recalls standing there while an explanation unfolded, nodding again, his face arranging itself into attentiveness. He noticed how easy it was to look certain while feeling only pressure. His arm continues. The object accelerates, then seems to slow, as if passing through something thicker than air. He thinks of water, of swimming once as a child, of resistance that felt playful then. The association irritates him. A pause opens not a stop, but a widening. In it, he registers the moral discomfort as physical weight, settling lower. He does not name it. He only notes that it is there. Another jump. He is younger by decades, standing in a doorway, listening to an argument he is not part of. He remembers choosing not to enter, not to take sides. The choice felt clean. He carries that cleanliness forward like a credential. Back again. The object is nearly where it must be. His grip tightens further. He becomes aware of his breathing as an obstacle. He holds it, the way he learned to during moments requiring steadiness. The world narrows to trajectory. He recalls being told that some acts redefine before and after. He dismissed it as melodrama. Now the phrase returns stripped of drama, factual. He feels irritation at the lateness of it. Time stutters. The clock without a battery insists again. He thinks of replacing it someday, of the satisfaction of a ticking that confirms passage. The thought feels absurd, but it persists. The downward motion resumes its claim. His shoulder engages. His wrist aligns. He senses the point of no return not as a line, but as a region he has already entered. A final memory surfaces. The friend's voice saying that living with a choice was sometimes harder than making it. He smiled then, a polite deflection. The smile feels stiff now. The object descends. The air seems to thin. His body commits fully, guided by habit more than intention. And as the last fraction of distance collapses and contact becomes imminent, his mind empties of argument and fills with motion, and he brings it down, beginning to